Hi, my name's, excuse me, my name's Frank Morton. I'm an organic seed grower here in
You want to spell that for us, Frank, just in case it's more
Morton.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm an organic seed grower here in Willamette Valley. I'm a member of the Willamette Valley Specialty Seed Association. I have sat on the rulemaking committee of the Willamette Valley Specialty Seed Association. And in fact, I was sitting on the isolation committee when it was first announced that Roundup Ready beets were going to be grown in Oregon. I had only been a member of the WVSSA for 1 month when the announcement came, to the whole organization's surprise, that Roundup Ready beets were not only going to be grown here, they had already been planted. And we were not informed. At the time that we were informed, 30% of the ground in the valley for Roundup for sugar beets had already been planted. And nobody had been alerted to that. So I'm glad you guys are finally here. Except you should have been here before you deregulated this crop the first time. Because there was no EIS, and because the environmental assessment, which the court described as cursory at best, because that assessment did not even take into account the seed growing phase of the sugar beet life cycle, nobody in this valley was asked whether we would feel the impact. Then we were told, oh yeah, we've already planted. And we want extra isolation because we are afraid that the current 5-mile limit is not enough. This is what a member of the sugar beet seed industry said to our group. We think we need 6 miles, that representative said. And the rule committee that I sat on discussed this and weirdly decided to make the isolation distance 3 miles. So I've never really understood how the environmental impact statement that you've produced, which is just like the environmental assessment that you produced a year ago to get around the court order that you cease and desist until an EIS was done, we are not being protected. If this product is not regulated, we will be returning to the situation as it was in December 2006, when out of the blue, somebody let the seed industry of the valley know that we had been visited. It's going to return us to right that same place. Except at that time, 5 miles were required between Swiss chard and conventional sugar beets. Weirdly, after they went GMO, it became 3 miles between sugar beets with GMO and non-GMO sugar beet. Dr. Valerie Smith studies gene flow. That's what she does. And she has said that in this valley, if GMOs are deregulated, gene flow between GM crops and non-GM crops will occur. Dr. Smith suggested that we must come up with a tolerance level that organic growers will tolerate, because that's the reality of what we're going to face. Well, we don't want any GMOs in our seeds. Our customers do not want them in the seeds that they buy from us. And if they can't buy pure seed in the Willamette Valley, they can go to Washington State and get chard and beet seed. They can go to California and get chard seed. They don't have to buy it from us. In 2009, the sales of my beet and chard seed were at their high. They had gone up like this, and in 2009, when this issue came to public attention, they went like this. And I have emails that have been forwarded to me by my customers asking, where can we go find beet and chard seed organic other than the Willamette Valley? Because you know why. So, I think my environment's been affected. I think the pollen of these crops is a pest. And I think that this product should be re-regulated.
Thank you. Next up is Leah Rodgers, and she'll be followed by, very sorry, I cannot repeat, Dan Toons, maybe, citizen? Anyway, go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Leah Rodgers, Leahrodgers. I am Field Director for Friends of Family Farmers. On behalf of our board and socially responsible family farmers and ranchers in Oregon, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to provide comments and feedback regarding the proposed deregulation of genetically modified Roundup Ready sugar beets. Friends of Family Farmers is Oregon's largest organization representing family-scale agriculture. Our mission is to protect sensible policies, programs, and regulations that protect and expand the ability of Oregon's family farmers to run a successful land-based enterprise while providing safe and nutritious food for all Oregonians. We have over 2,300 supporters spread across every county in Oregon, and our membership is diverse, representing family farmers and ranchers of all sizes that share the common value of producing food in a way that is socially and ecologically responsible. Our membership is not only geographically and scale diverse, it also represents farmers of all age and production types, and it spans political lines. Agriculture is a vital component of Oregon's economy. It fuels our state's engines and provides a valuable livelihood for many families in our state. Family farming has been fundamental to the integrity of our land base, the makeup of our communities, and the richness of our culture. The Willamette Valley is one of the most productive and diverse agricultural geographic areas in the nation and is a world leader in seed and specialty crops. The farmers that we represent have identified genetically modified crops as a major threat to farm and land viability. They have identified GMO isolation and restriction that ensures the viability of seed and organic crops as top priorities. It is our farmers' opinion that there isn't sound science available today that can adequately demonstrate the full impact of introducing a genetically modified crop with an extremely high chance of cross-contamination. The ruination of the organic agriculture industry in the area is likely. Friends of Family Farmers does not want genetically modified Roundup Ready sugar beets introduced in Oregon. Protecting these lands for the purposes of local agriculture guarantees jobs, not just for the farmers and their families, but for the number of businesses, both rural and urban, who rely on the businesses from family farms for survival. This decision will have significant impact on the entire region. It is USDA's responsibility to listen to and protect all aspects of agriculture. You should not allow one type of agriculture to potentially ruin another industry in the name of Roundup Ready. This isn't minimal impact. Please hear the socially responsible, organic, and sustainable section of agriculture as carefully as big industry. These farmers work the land and know that conflicts and potential financial devastation will arise from the introduction of genetically modified crops, and specifically Roundup Ready sugar beets in the Willamette Valley. We implore you to push back against the pressure to greenlight GM Roundup Ready sugar beets and protect the family farmers of Oregon. Thank you.
NTHIA, capital KAPPLE. I have a small farm, Midway Farms, out on Highway 20 between Corvallis and Albany. Our farm is organic. We also have many other farms that sell through us. We also run the community table at the Albany Farmers Market. The problem with the GMO Roundup Ready crops are they not only contaminate farmers that are organic, but also conventional farmers that do not wish to grow GMO. I not only grow the crops for selling the produce, but also feeding fodder to my animals, and then also I save my own seed. I worry that because there's seed growing down the road from us, that there might be GMO seed already. Even though we have these maps to pin little flags on locations of the seed crops, not all farmers follow that. There are farms growing out there that are not on those maps that are growing sugar beets. The biggest issue for me is the pollen drift and then policing. Lots of you probably have seen on the side of roads an ear of corn or some beans that have fallen off of a truck. You know, the other issue is birds. I have lots of weed crops that show up that are new to me because there's been newer crops grown rather than just the grass seed, such as corn and other crops bring in other weeds, and the birds drop those on my land. I don't believe that it is even possible for us to truly control it, and we do not have a way to police it. There is not policing going on now, and I can't see it in the future. It's cost prohibitive. So please do not deregulate Roundup Ready. Please restrict it more for the sake of all small farms, conventional and organic. Thank you.
Thank